Welcome back. This is chapter 6, Expert Detectives, and now I'm going to explain passage number second to you. Perhaps the police had to set his house on fire to force him out, I suggested. Seven looked unsure. So Maya presented another logic here, another, say, argument here. Said the scars on his face might have been caused by the setting his house on fire by the police. That is, police had to burn his house so that he could come out of it and could be arrested by the police. Seven looked unsure, and Seven was doubtful. Seven was still not convinced. He was still not, satisfied with Maya's logic, Maya's reasons. On the Monday following Mama's birthday, Seven went alone with her to the clinic at Girgaum, as I was spending the evening with a school friend. So here, a Monday was a mother's birthday. That is, their mother had her birthday on Monday, so they had a celebration, and then say celebration or not, or say in the morning they had a little celebration, and after that Seven went to the clinic with mother. The clinic was there at Girgam, whereas Maya had to stay at home because her school friend had come there to meet her. When they returned, Nisat told me he had been to see Mr. Nath, and I felt most annoyed that I hadn't been there. Okay, so here Nisat, as they returned home, Nisat informed Maya that they had been to Mr. Nath's place. That is, possibly they went to Mr. Nath's place. Either both of them or only Nisat went to, that is, Mr. Nath's place. And here she felt quite annoyed, quite angry, and quite, say, frustrated because she lost this opportunity. Seven had been quite upset with Mr. Nath's gaunt appearance and was sure that he was starving. So when he went there, he looked at Mr. Nath and he found him very weak. He was quite sick. His appearance was quite sickly. He looked sick, and from his appearance, he concluded, he just imagined that he had been starving, that he had been going without food, he had no money to buy food. He told me that he had knocked loudly on Mr. Nath's door that evening and said, "Open the door quickly, Mr. Nath." So he informed her that that evening he went there, he knocked at the door very loudly and said, "Please open the door quickly, Mr. Nath." The man had opened it and asked him, "Lost another marble?" And the man quickly opened the door and asked him if he had lost another marble, another a ball of glass ball. He had obviously recognized my brother, and as he as he mentioned those things, so she suspected, she apprehended, she thought that he recognized seven. No, said Nisad, he had taken the man's hand in his own and thrust a bar of chocolate into it. Okay, so he said no, he had not recognized him, and said that since he looked very weak and he felt bad looking at his gaunt appearance, looking at his sick appearance, uh, he took pity on him, and then he thrust a bar of chocolate into his hand. That is, he then uh, gave him a bar of chocolate. That is, he quickly pushed into his hand a bar of chocolate. Did you get a chance to peek into the trunk, Seven? I asked, and then Maya asked if he got any chance to look into the trunk. That is, a chance to secretly look into his trunk. Nisad looked disappointed. He didn't even ask me in, he said. Then he smiled, but I did find out something, Maya. Okay, so here Nisad, with disappointment, said that, well, I was quite disappointed. He looked disappointed and then said, well, he didn't even ask me in. That is, he didn't even welcome him. Then he smiled, but I did find out something, Maya. Well, the thing is, why was he upset? Because he gave him a bar of chocolate, and in spite of that, he didn't ask him to come in. That is, he didn't have that courtesy to call him in, to ask him in, to have, to offer him a glass of water or something like that. But he was not welcome. But he said, well, in spite of that, he found something there. I went down to the restaurant where Ramesh works and talked to him. And then he went downstairs, and downstairs was the restaurant. And there he went to Ramesh, who took his meals to him. So he went there, talked to him. Good for you, Mr. Detective, I said, patting on the bag. Then he said, well, I went to Ramesh and then talked to him. Maya was impressed. She said, good for you, Mr. Detective. These are the characteristics, traits of a good detective. She patted him on his back. She just gently stroked on his back. I hope you questioned him properly. And then she said, I believe you questioned him in a proper manner, in a proper way. You asked him all the important questions. Seven looked pleased. Ramesh told me that he takes 2 meals for Mr. Nath every morning and evening. Then he, with pleasure, he gave out all the information. He said Ramesh took 2 meals to Mr. Nath every day, one in the morning and the other in the evening, and 2 cups of tea, one in the morning and one in the afternoon, and then he took 2 tea to Mr. Nath even. So this is all for now. Thank you.